Good evening. This is Shannon Gronich, and I am here doing Mentor and Mastermind Monday. Super excited. We're here December the 5th, and just inviting people to get set up and signing on. Again, my name is Shannon Gronich. I'm the founder of the Business Acceleration Summit and Media Magic. And what we do twice a month, the first and the third Monday, is we come together as a community to collaborate and grow in the 4 areas that we focus on to accelerate any business and any economy. So if you're joining us, we're on Facebook Live. We're also on Yahoo or Google Hangout. And if you're in Google Hangout, I've just put in the chat room the live link to join us, or you can request to be a presenter so that we can listen to you, join us via video. That tends to be the best way to really jump in and let us support you. So just to give you a quick overview for those of you that are just joining us for the first time, there are basically 4 things that I found that I believe really can help accelerate any business and any economy at whatever level they're at. And the first thing is to master your elevator pitch, to be able to articulate quickly, clearly, concisely who you are, what you're doing, and what you need next, how we can support you. If you're joining us on Facebook, and this one of the great things about Mastermind Monday is that we invite you to share your elevator pitch. This is a great way to get media magic and free publicity, because not only does this stream live on Facebook, YouTube replays. We have 85 people signed up for the Hangout tonight, but it definitely is a way to reach beyond here with your elevator pitch. And I love personally helping coach individuals on how to develop and how to fine-tune that elevator pitch so that you can become magnetic with your words. Because one of the things that Lisa Nichols of The Secret shared, who's a law of attraction coach and does many other things, but she said that the thing that is stopping us from attracting and getting exactly what we want right now is our language. And it's amazing how many people come to the summit, or that I've had the opportunity to work with, or even some of our mentors, and just some tweaks and being able to share who they are, what they're doing, and what they need next in a quick, clear, concise way can start becoming magnetic. So hi, June, welcome. Again, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and type in your elevator pitch or website or anything like that. We'd be happy to share that with you. And we have Eileen made it into the video. Welcome.
Hi. It's nice to be here.
So glad you made it. Let me check in here on some of the mentors. Looks like we've got a lot of attendees tonight. So again, if you want to join us live, on video, which is the best, you can click on the live link in the chat room, and that'll kind of bypass everything or request to be a speaker. So the second thing, there we go, Stuart, I just invited you. Hopefully, oh, you disappeared. The second thing is to collaborate and partnerships. I have found that if we are doing business alone, it's because we think we have to do it alone. And that we are in a time and an era where we really, the businesses that are moving forward are finding ways to build community and collaborate and play and work together. It's many times we don't know how to do it. We actually have one of our mentors, Joyce White Nelson. She has Joyce Ventures, is an expert at this. But many times it begins with just sitting down and saying, tell me a little bit more about you. What do you do? And doing it in a heart of, how can I help this person? What is it that they need? And can I open up my Rolodex and support them? And vice versa. So a lot of times it just starts with that conversation. But the second thing is really finding ways to collaborate and partner. And this word competition, we've been programmed and we think that competition is where we stay away from. But I have seen miracle after miracle of people in the same industry, same type of work, coming together with a shared vision of how do we play together, and really sharing marketing, sharing resources, and multiplying their business by that concept of collaboration and partnering. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is to have mentors and coaches. I think that we all need mentors and coaches, even the most successful CEOs. Everybody that I know that has really reached any level of success and continues to grow has that outside person that's there, coaching them, guiding them, helping them avoid costly mistakes, helping them do things in quicker, and guide them and be that outside voice. And mentors, sometimes we can get lucky and they just are people that'll take us under their wings, but sometimes we have to invest in them. And so a really big advocate. I know at one point I had 9. It was like I was looking at parenting. I have kids. I was looking at the financial. I was looking at publicity and all those different areas. So, and even we have Eileen here tonight, who's like an intuitive counsel. So there's so many different levels of support that I invite everybody to really look at and want to gather. Hi, Penny. Welcome. Oh my gosh, Penny, I just clicked. Hi, Penny. I'm not sure. Okay, Penny, I just asked you to be a presenter. And Penny, you should have a link to get you right in. But if not, let me get you. I just put the link in the chat room again. So I'm multitasking here, and that is not one of the 4 strategies to accelerate your business. Multitasking is not it. Focus. And the 4th thing is Mastermind. This has been around, Napoleon Hill, and something that where you come together as a small group focused on helping each other and supporting each other. And again, opening your heart, opening your Rolodex, and talking about strategy, or talking about challenges and how to overcome them, talking about goals and how to reach them, but really laser focused on how do I support this person. Yay, we have Penny Thinker on the line. Welcome, Penny.
I figured out how to get on.
Awesome. So I was just going through, Penny, I don't know if you could hear some of the 4 strategies. So let me just recap that before we actually dive into where this is where a lot of the fun and the action happens. Yes, June. June is on Facebook. She said she's looking forward to the Business Acceleration Summit in January. And the Business Acceleration Summit is where we put into action all 4 of those principles. Like we are in action with working on your elevator pitch, creating partnerships and collaborating, finding out how to do that and play together, giving access to mentors and coaches. And we have Penny here tonight, who's going to be speaking on Wednesday to our members, who's a productivity expert. And Penny, I'm going to just share one of the things that I realized from her as a gift is she has this beautiful ability to have a group of people and somebody come to her with a goal or a challenge, and she can guide them and coach them, but then actually share how it'll affect and impact other businesses. I mean, it's so beautiful to watch, and I don't know if it's the best to explain, but tonight we get to see you in action. So be thinking about those goals or challenges, because she is very, very gifted at really bringing that home for everybody to use, not just that individual, which makes this space very, very precious. And the 4th thing is Mastermind. So masterminding with each other. So we usually start out with sharing your elevator pitch. Who are you? What are you up to? You want to be quick, clear, and concise. And yes, we love hearts on Facebook. Thank you. So please, we're going to go ahead and if you're not joining us via video, you can type it in and we'll be happy to give you a shout out, give you feedback on it. And I really encourage that, because again, that is giving you free publicity. This gets you additional exposure beyond what's here. So since I have Eileen, am I saying it's Eileen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, since I have Eileen on the line, and here video, brave, courageous, stepped up and joined us, let's go ahead and have your elevator pitch first. Or I like to call it your conscious calling too, what are you
conscious calling? Okay, interesting. It's never been one of my fortes. Sharing with people, talking with people, having a half an hour, 20 minutes to explain what I do, much easier. So here goes. So my name is Eileen Gottlieb, and I am affectionately referred to as the heart healer. And how I serve others is through teaching conscious heart connection, for I believe that is the source of all of our healing. And so my background's in nursing, and I am very much involved with guiding people both from a holistic perspective when they have issues that they're needing to address, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. We look at the whole person, and I offer both healing sessions as well as Akashic Records readings. And for people that don't know what that is, it is a type of psychic reading, but more of an intuitive reading. And I host a wonderful blog talk radio show called Just Believe, which is a call-in show for live readings. So among other things, I serve by doing readings in that venue, privately with clients, doing a Heart of Love Wisdom Seekers spiritual community I facilitate. It's a Facebook community where we just create this amazing vortex of love and foster a lot of personal growth and development with love at the core. And that's me for now.
And your website, or how somebody would get a hold of you?
Ilene, I-L-E-N-E, thehearthealer.com.
Okay, perfect. So Ilene, I forgot to ask, if you're on this call, are you open to coaching and feedback? Is everybody that's on here, are you open to coaching and feedback? Perfect.
Absolutely.
So one of the things is we actually have a really rich environment of business owners and entrepreneurs that are joining us, both on Facebook and here. So when I spoke with you, and you're lucky because I know a little bit about you, that you actually have, you've worked with businesses. So in your elevator pitch, I would definitely share, talk to your audience on how you can support, it's good to find out who your audience is. And since this is a business audience, I would definitely talk to them on how can you help them. Now, can you do that in about 30 seconds? Because I also, Penny, I'd love your feedback too, because I know you're a master at this.
I can. How I support businesses, people, especially entrepreneurs, is by offering clarity, content, and a lot of confidence that comes from that. A lot of people are having a challenge with where they are in their business. They feel like they need to shift it in one direction or another, and they're not quite sure how. So I've been very joyful to support businesses in being able to get that clarity and tweak how they're presenting their business, or sometimes even going into a different business so that it increases their financial abundance in very wonderful ways.
Awesome. So I love that you added the financial abundance, because when we're dealing with the different personalities, we definitely, it seems like you hit them. You hit the kind of the heart space, relationships, clarity, but also you hit the financial realm. So that was great. Penny, can I put you on the spot? And we're going to give you an elevator pitch, but do you have some feedback for her tonight?
Yeah, the words that really struck me, that I really held on to, were around clarity. So that second part where she's talking to the business, right? Clarity is so much power. So, and I do believe that even people who feel that they have clarity in where they're going don't always have clarity in their language, like you said. So clarity is a big word. And I also really like the word intuition, because I am familiar with Akashic readings, Ilene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I have a good friend of mine who does it. However, I do know that most people don't, and it might be a little bit, they might or might not be open to it, right? So, but when you talk about intuition, we all know what that is, and we all are at different points of, I think we're all guilty of knowing something and in our gut, but then not doing it, right? So how do we really become more in line with our intuition and have that level of confidence and clarity? So those are the things that came out for me that I liked out of that and would emphasize.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just reminding everybody, Ilene, thank you. Was that helpful?
Yes, very much so. Thank you so much.
Great, and I always suggest to write this down. We have somebody in our community that for the longest time, and everybody knows him here, everybody loves him, and he's so skilled at what he does. Like, he is just a master at what he does. And unless you sit down with him for an hour or 2 or 3, it's really hard to know, how is this going to help my... And I was like, you got to write this down. There's just magic in writing down what it is that you're saying and what it is that you're sharing. And the minute he wrote it down and he was able to tweak it, it's like there's been a big difference in attracting and getting clarity on what he's doing. He was actually able to craft something that was beautiful and get attention. So definitely write it down if you can. If you're on Facebook Live, I know we have June Knox. She's an amazing herbalist. She also does some artwork. And June, I wish you could type in your website, because I believe she uses palm fronds and different parts of palm trees and creates some kind of surf and beach-like beautiful decorations for your home. Debbie Lynn works with people on content and getting content out to the masses. So if you have a book, you have CDs, any sort of content development, she's great. We have Cheryl Fryer on here also, and she owns Premier Women's Network, which is a nationwide organization bringing together women, and she always picks first-class location. One of the things I love about Cheryl's group is that she's really good at matchmaking, and she gives everybody the chance to speak and share who they are. So Cheryl's a Premier Women's Network and really beautiful. I'm giving you shout outs even if you didn't type it in there yet. So Penny, let's hear from you. I'm going to toot your horn just for a minute. Penny has been featured at Inc. She's been featured in Forbes. She is just, I had the opportunity to do a strategy session with her at the last CEO space, and I had not only some work and business awareness, but also some personal awareness of what was really holding me back around productivity and some of my language. And I'm just really grateful at your area of expertise, because I know that productivity affects everything. It affects our health, it affects our bottom line, it affects our happiness. And so now it's your turn. I didn't mean to.
No, that's great. Actually, productivity is a byproduct, I think. So I use that word, and I guess I should go into my 30-second pitch. But I use that word because that's what people want as a byproduct. That's the result that they want.
Yes.
So, but really, what I'm passionate about is helping people to think and act more strategically. So, as a productivity expert, I support business leaders and entrepreneurs to think and act more strategically so that they can create greater productivity. And productivity means greater balance, greater control, greater profit. So it means being, working smarter, not harder in that aspect.
Awesome. So how does somebody reach you, and what are some of the things that you offer individuals? And those of you that want to get in on our members only call on Wednesday, please email me, because Penny is an absolute rock star. You can email me at info@shannongronich.com, info@shannongronich.com. And since you've seen her here tonight, you're actually giving away part of your process, which I'm super excited.
I am. So that's one of the things that I do. I offer different types of courses and assessments and also trainings, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and I do a lot of seminars and live trainings as well. So and in the areas of, I have a book that's called The Productivity Zone: Stop the Tug of War with Time. And in the book, I go through my 10 core drivers of productivity. And so somebody can get those drivers, in the book. But I also have a follow-up process, which is an assessment. It's the first of its kind, a productivity assessment. Some people might be familiar with DISC and other personality assessments. This is somewhat similar, but it's something you take a profile of where you are now. But what's really cool and where the real benefit is that you continually come back to it, right? Getting yourself perspective every week or every 2 weeks to get out of the minutia and come back to what are those 10 core drivers and where do you stand, so that you can close the gap in, let's say, in that productivity gap. So that's an assessment that I have available. It comes either by itself or with a course. I do time blocking, which is what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday. I have a 7-step program around time blocking to master time blocking so that we align our goals and our tasks. Because so many people are so busy, but they're not doing what's important. They're not doing the right thing. So we want to keep people aligned to doing the things that are going to really bring them further, faster to reach their goals. And so, yeah, lots of different stuff. You can reach me on www.p, as in productivity, 10, the number 10, app.com.
p10app.com. That's an easy one to remember. Perfect. All right, and we have Karen that just joined us. So right now we're at the place of working on elevator pitches, just getting to know who's here, free publicity time, sharing, getting feedback on your elevator pitch. I know that June Knox just shared that on Facebook, if you look up Sirens and Sea Mermaids, that's where you can find some of her artwork, Sirens and Sea Mermaids, which is some really beautiful artwork. And Debbie Lynn says, hi, Penny. And Ambika has joined us, Ambika Devi, who's also does some intuitive astrology and everything. So Karen, can we put you on the spotlight? Thank you for joining us.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. It's been a few weeks, Shannon. I'm so sorry. You know how the holidays get us.
It's okay. Great. Well, it's great to see your face. Go ahead and tell everybody about you.
Yeah. So I'm the founder and CEO of The Grief Consultant. And my company offers leadership development workshops that's tailored to emotional intelligence and how to create psychologically safe workplaces for grieving employees. And kind of like Penny, it's for that productivity piece where people say, well, why does this matter? And that's because our emotional and our mental well-being affects our ability to function. So I train leaders and organizations on how to bring that compassion and that empathy into the workplace instead of just referring employees out and telling them to go deal with it by themselves. So
awesome. And how do they get a hold of you?
So they can get a hold of me from my website. It's thegriefconsultant.com, or my email address is Karen@thegriefconsultant.
Perfect. One of the things I loved from talking with you, which I really resonated with, is every business goes through change. And a lot of change does involve some sort of that can come with it. It can be loss of an employee, it can be family member, it can be changing position. I mean, there's just so many changes that can happen in the workplace. So I was really excited about what you're doing in corporations and getting out there and really raising awareness to that, because I know that it's important.
Yeah, thank you. And that's really the first thing that I teach people is grief isn't just the result of a death. It can be any major life-altering change or loss that occurs. So yeah, that's a really big takeaway that a lot of people, when they hear that, then their light bulb goes off.
Perfect. So Penny, it's you and me tonight, girl. Any comments, feedback for Karen?
No, I love the statement that grief is any type of loss, and we experience loss on a regular basis, right? It's really understanding, as you said, Karen, to have that emotional intelligence so that we can be more productive in the workplace or be better with our family. So I like that perspective on things.
Key language. Great. Yay. And it was short and sweet. Quick, clear, concise.
Took a while to get to that, but
it does, doesn't it?
It does.
It is. Yeah, because your business it's under 2 years old, under 3 years old. Is that right?
It is. So the first year was a lot of market research and, networking and making sure that my brand was very niche. I wanted to stay true to that and not get too far off into training and development. I wanted to honor the space that is important. And then so once I did that, I realized that grief was a very hard language. And so it would kind of deter folks from opening up. And so that's why I had to, like I said, kind of fine tune what that wording was and the content. And so I would say that I officially launched in February of this past year.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we have, in just a minute, so we're doing our final call for elevator pitches, sharing who you are, giving your shout outs. We have Debbie Lynn, who I mentioned earlier. She's looking for products ready to market, to put products on Amazon, Shopify, eBay, and Bonanza, and bonanza. And
Are we frozen?
Mm-hmm.
am I frozen?
Shannon is, but not Penny.
Yeah, I thought it was just me. I was like, oh no, something's wrong.
No.
Am I still frozen?
Nope, we got you.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. So this next part, did you guys get Debbie's website okay when I shared that? Okay, so Debbie's website is .messengerofgoodfortune.com, vendor.messengerofgoodfortune.com. Hi, David. Love you too. I work down in Fort Lauderdale. All right, we've got a lot of people on Facebook tonight. So now we get into the fun part. And this is, but it can also be, you know, we're all in business. We want to put on this face that we have everything all together, right? Because we do. And at the same time, it does require some vulnerability. It does require sharing a goal or a challenge or something that you know, making that request. Is sharing with us what you need and how we can support you. And I always, one of the fun parts about this is I found that sometimes the more vulnerable we are, the more it opens up for other people to help you here. I know everybody, hi Nick, everybody that's joining us tonight really committed to this place of giving back, opening up their heart, opening up their Rolodex. You keep hearing me say that, but that's key. So in the mastermind, it's sharing what is a goal or a challenge that you have that you're looking for support with. You have, when we come together collectively, and I think we have like 10 people here, we have, this says 85 registered, we've got a few live. It's like there, whatever we need, we have the solution right here. So I invite each of you, Penny, you too, you know, if there's a goal or a challenge or something that you would like our support with, please let us know. This is where the mastermind begins. It's on Facebook. Hi, Janet, real estate broker. So and see how we can support you first. Have you been a part of a mastermind? Now this is a little different than the mastermind of where obviously we do have people that stick with us, but this is more of like a speed where we share and then we come together quickly to support you. It's not something we do over months and months, unless you join us every other Monday.
Did you ask me?
So something that we can support you, a goal or a challenge? I don't know if she can hear me. Am I freezing up?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Let me do that. Who wants to go first and share a goal or a challenge that they have?
Sorry, you may have asked me, but you froze up and I thought you asked Eileen. Since I noticed the other two weren't talking.
I did ask Eileen. Eileen, do you have...
Oh, Eileen, go ahead. Okay, good.
No, I couldn't hear it, and I'm okay listening for this one. That's fine with me.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, though.
And Eileen, it could be just for you. It could be, I'm looking for people to join my Facebook group. Here's the website. I mean, I think everybody that's here, this is the opportunity to make that request. So, or I'm looking for people to share something like this. So please think about it for a minute, but it can be something really simple that can connect people to you also.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have anything?
I do. I'm not going to lose this opportunity. Oh, yeah. I was at Tony Robbins. I was a Tony Robbins coach for many years. And so I reunited at UPW, which is Unleash the Power Within, a couple weeks ago. And I set a really big goal for myself. I have this online assessment. And I set that this year, by this time next year, I want to have 250,000 people on the platform so that I can reach 1 million people between 3 and 5 years. And to make that more exciting for myself, I am a president of the board of a company called, a non-for-profit called Heart of a Fighter. And it's specifically for women who are transitioning from military duty to, to civilian life and all the challenges that those women have. And we really, as women, don't have as much support with the specific challenges that they have in the military as men do. So I'm really super excited to make, the assessment. I'm going to serve lots of people because it's helping them to think and act more strategically. And at the same time, I'm going to make a special donation. A percentage of the proceeds are going to go to Heart of a Fighter. So I would love it if people would share. It can be found on my website. There's a tab, assessment. So it's www.p10app.com. So P and then the number 10app.com. And there's a place for assessment. And I changed all the pricing to make it so as affordable as possible. So you can take it once for just $27. And if you want to take it monthly so that you keep coming back to it, then it's $27 a month. And so, and that comes with a whole series of assignments and emails. And so I'm excited to give that. So there's an assignment a week that goes along with it. And I really want to give back to Heart of a Fighter and see those women supported as well. So that's my ask, my big goal.
Okay, so going to p10app.com, and I'm putting it in the chat room here for everybody to see.
Great.
Is there a share button from the assessment? Is that something that we can go to that page and actually do a social media share?
Don't know if I have that, but I can get one together by tomorrow.
Yeah, that might be something that would be great for other people, when we, obviously each of us take it, but then looking at how can we share this with our community.
Definitely.
Yay, so you got a little gem.
Thank you.
Okay, so anybody have any questions for Penny around that? Good ask. 200,000 users assessments, Heart of a Fighter. I love the language that you use, think and act strategically. I think that is really powerful. Think and act strategically, not just putting out fires, which a lot of people do at times. So we have June. She said, for me, I need to speed up my process. I need to make more products in less time. June, is this your artwork that you're talking about or some of the herbal products that you're working with? I don't know if she's watching. So she's looking for suggestions around speeding up her product process. Make more products in less time. So June, give us a little more feedback. We'd love to help you with that and share some resources. It is the art, okay. And is this something that can be duplicated? Is this something that you can teach somebody else to do and be able to train them, obviously with a non-disclosure, non-compete, but train them to be able to do it and help you do that? Is that a way of duplication, or are you looking for manufacturer, somebody that can manufacture? Yes, you can train. Okay.
And what kind of art is it? Is it painting? Is it, we're using cloth? What are they?
Does some painting. You can actually see it on Facebook in the can. If you look on Facebook, Sirens, SIRENS, and Sea Mermaids, Sirens and Sea Mermaids.com, you can see some of her work. And June, it is, she says, or CNC machine. I don't know what a CNC machine is. Do you know what a CNC machine is? Mm-mm. They're looking at your Facebook. And anybody else, this is anybody else that has resources for her, please share, because again, this is, Penny's here tonight as one of our mentors, but we all have resources and things that we can contribute.
So I was just thinking, depending on where she is, and if it is painting, a way that she could produce more in a short amount of time is having more people do it, like holding a class. So they do like paint with a twist, for example. And if she were to walk them through, she had 20 people who signed up, and she were to walk them through one of her paintings, then they understand that when they leave there, they're actually, donating it to her. Or, she'll be able to use that. I think that would be a good way. And the reason I say that also is because she could also do focus groups. So if there was like a widow group or divorce groups or yoga group, sometimes they're looking for different ways to heal. And so I know, for example, I have a widow group, and a lot of the ladies like to do creative activities, and that helps them to decompress. And so she could actually go on Meetup and offer to come in and say, hey, I would teach this class for you. I would collect the paintings because it is to support my business. But for that, 2 hours, they get an opportunity to experience that healing.
I like it.
Brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And there was a couple of ideas too, the focus group and the class. So that was great.
And of course, there's students, right? You can go to art schools, and students are looking to earn a little bit of extra cash or get the credits that they need for an internship. So, those are also great places to go and get inexpensive resources, depending on what it is that she's looking to create.
Right.
You're missing a little bit about what her goals are, and what she's looking to accomplish.
It's outdoor ocean art is how she describes it, outdoor ocean art.
Mm.
So it's really unique. Okay, June, hopefully this was helpful. We did have Nick Turf saying, for me, process automation seems to be a good way to work with products and services. Always asking myself, how can I make this easier? Question works for anything, work or personal.
Mm-hmm. It's a good question.
Giving you thumbs up. And you can give me a heart, Nick, because I love you.
So we have to give our thumbs up like this, right?
Hi, Julian, who needs some prayers. He's for surgery on his shoulder. Okay, we also have, and she said that she would love to have Facebook likes and shares. It's Fortune Realty Group, Fortune Realty Group. And one of the things I know about Janet is that she is a old school broker, investor, deals with businesses. And one of the things I love about her, and I'm sorry that I'm going to say this about the real estate industry, but they've gotten very lazy since we've had texts and emails. And Janet really gets in there and negotiates. She takes time to meet with people, and she is what I call the old school realtor, really holding hands and taking care of people. And I've sent her individuals that were first-time home buyers. She went out and got them money, and she just walked them all the way through to where they were raving, going, oh, she was the best. So I love her. In real estate, I encourage you to hold your hand of your customers and don't send your offers via email without going over it first. I don't know if you guys have had it, but sense. So anybody else? How about you, Karen? What is a goal or challenge that we can support you with tonight?
Well, I guess my biggest challenge and goal right now is getting booked for more speaking engagements. That offers me the opportunity to reach people, multiple audience of people from different companies. And so then when they hear, the inspirational story, I guess, behind my why, then they look like the hero taking an innovative idea back to the workplace. And so I've been applying, left and right for 2017. I will say that even though I launched in February, I actually got aligned in July with everything. And since launching in July, I've been able to book 5 events the rest of this year. But really need to gear up for 2017 because while I've had a couple of workshops, they've been unpaid up to this point. And so I am looking to, like I said, get more speaking engagements so that way I can land those workshops. I'm actually getting ready to start a free webinar series that is going to talk about different areas of empathy in the workplace. And so that will launch next year. So obviously sharing that or keeping me in mind for speaking engagements and certainly for those companies that are looking to deepen their leadership development, specifically in this area, helping people through emotional distress. I'm the girl to call. So
awesome. So I have, are you a part of the Facebook group called She Broadcasts?
I'm not.
Okay. She Broadcasts is ran by Jessica Brace, who's a YouTube expert, does video and ways of getting out. And now she's really promoting the Facebook Live. But I know once a week she puts in there and invites the group to share who's looking for presenters and speakers.
Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a great group to join and get to know Jessica. She's actually, we've went back and forth. One of the great things when you work with speakers is that you can start sharing with each other different speaking gigs. And so Jessica's been a dear friend and really great at doing that. Have you checked in with ABWA at all?
No, what's that?
American Business Women's Association?
No, but I will. I'm writing all of this down.
They're really easy to get speaking gigs here in Brevard County. Now, I know you're in Orlando, but they have, both of them happen to be at our Ogalley Yacht Club, and they bring in speakers. Now, they're not paid, but you are in front of some high-level executives, not just entrepreneurs.
Right.
And it's, I know the one that I'm a member of, the lunchtime one, I'd be happy to connect you with that individual. They're already booking out into the next year.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I have thought about, in the beginning, not in the beginning, but there are going to be some opportunities where I see the value if it's not paid. And so my ask would be one of two things. One, if they have either video or photography that's happening, if I could have that media. And then the other ask would be the nonprofit that I'm establishing, because I want to offer free resources to grievers. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't afford healing. So they would just have to make some sort of donation to that nonprofit. So either of those, if I do feel like the opportunity would help to, lift my visibility and get additional connections, I do take that into consideration.
Awesome.
Karen, if I might.
Yes.
One of the thoughts that comes to me as you're sharing is a huge community for continuing education presentations for LCSWs, people in the hospice industry, or people that have a niche market for grief counseling. You would be wonderful for it. And for some reason, and I don't know why, I want to connect you up with Lauren Knoll, N-O-L-L. She creates some programs. So if a company wants to do a webinar program, she actually creates the form for it. And for some reason, as you were talking about the types of presentations that you were doing, it came to me that the two of you may be able to have a nice liaison that would be mutually beneficial. She actually creates what it is. I don't know that she always presents them. You know what I'm saying? But she may be able to help you create the form for what you want to do.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Eileen. Well, I'll make sure that we get each other's contact information and connect after this.
That would be great. That would be great.
And I would say do it now.
Okay.
You put it in the chat room. You should be able to connect, but go ahead and exchange stuff now just so that we make sure that you do that. Because it's Penny goes like, do it now. Go ahead.
I have a few resources for you too, Karen.
Thank you. I'm ready to take notes.
Okay, so you may already be familiar with these, but there's a few online platforms that are really great to put yourself out there for speaking engagements. One of them is called Thumbtack.
I'm on that, yes.
Okay. Another one is called Gig Masters.
Okay, I read that.
Gigmasters. I like that one a lot. There's a new one that's come up a couple months ago. It's called Speakers Hub.
Yes, I joined that.
So, and then there's, if you're looking for webinars that get out to large audiences, there's HRDQ, if you're familiar with that one.
No.
I've been on that platform, and they get a really nice group of people from high-level organizations, right? So it's not a paid situation, but it is giving you access to a large group of people. There's also sites that are paid, such as Train HR, where they will joint venture webinars with you, and they'll put it out to their audience. And you should also consider going to, I speak at the Society of HR Managers events. And you can apply online. It's an online application process. And that would be a great topic that's probably not getting any coverage or a decent amount of coverage, that they would love to have somebody like yourself come and present.
Yes, thank you. I actually had, I have a couple of connections through SHRM. I have a lady who contacted me, and I did a workshop for her first responders in the Savannah area. And then I just applied through Speakers Hub for the Ohio SHRM conference, and they're still accepting applications. Actually, I just did that one today, so if you haven't seen that. And then I also was featured in SHRM magazine, so I have that on my website, so people are like, oh, okay, we could. So yes, thank you for reinforcing those areas. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. And if you, we'll get each other's details. I also have the head of Red Cross, since you mentioned different organizations for Philadelphia. So if that's a contact that you don't yet have, I'd be happy to put you in contact.
Okay, great. Thank you. I did put my email address in the chat. So if that's easier, or if you'd like to share yours, either way, I'm grateful.
I don't know where that is.
Karen at thegriefconsultant.com. Karen at thegriefconsultant.com. And Eileen is Eileen at thecompassionatehearthealing.com.
And I'm Penny at p10app.com.
Perfect. And we do have a local company that spends a lot of money on personal development. So also put down the Pizza Gallery and Grill. I can't believe a pizza gallery does as much as they do on leadership, and he's very.
Oh, I think we lost you, Shannon.
Oops, gone.
It happens. Oh, is she back? No. Until she gets back, I just wanted to share, Karen, I'm so thrilled that you're doing what you're doing, because there is such an incredible need for it. I've been a hospice nurse and relationship with hospice since '83. And I have a niece that works with Treasure Coast Hospice up in Palm City. So the need for that support out in the community and the understanding of it, I do bereavement workshops for Healing Touch Buddies, which is a nonprofit that I love. So I'm really thrilled that you're doing what you're doing, because there is
thank you.
Need for it.
Charlie does color. Am I back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's like, Penny, did you get to step in and take charge?
Did I what?
Did you get to jump in and take charge?
Yes, we took charge.
Oh, good. So did you get what I said about the Pizza Gallery and Grill, Karen?
Yes, I did hear that name, and then it faded out. But you said that they focus a lot on leadership development.
They spend a lot of money on their employees and leadership development, and lots of training.
That's great. Okay, yes, I wrote that down. Thank you for sharing.
Perfect. I'll be happy to make that connection. So, Eileen, can I come back around to you? Did you have anything that came up that you wanted to share in our last 10 minutes?
I'm happy to. I'm offering a teleclass series that's coming up. It starts this Wednesday, and I'm grateful for all support in expanding the people that are participating in it. It was a inspired workshop, 4-class teleclass series, basically for conscious heart connection. And it meets people where they're at in that connectedness experience. And what I mean by that is that for people that, let's say they have children that are involved in a custody situation and they're not old enough to be able to have a cell phone and they're feeling a real sense of disconnect and it's suffering. It's a real source of suffering for them. This workshop will offer them a tool and a method of staying connected energetically by heart with them. For those people that are having challenges in their relationships with self and others, it has a lot to do with, for me, what I believe the heart starts it all. So when they are given a tool that helps them to connect with who they are, it enhances how they are able to be in relationship with other people. And this workshop will be one that offers a way to enhance that relationship with self and with others. And for those people from the more esoteric side that are light workers, that are already working a lot with energy, the workshop will also meet them where they're at and give them a tool to help work with perhaps the segment of the population that works for that they serve, whether it's the planet, or perhaps it's the children on the planet or the political system. There is a way energetically to expand love and enhance the connectedness to that which we serve, if that makes sense. I mean, I hope it does. I see Penny's shaking her head, so I'm hoping that it makes sense. I'm excited about it because it's such a yummy process. Each class is going to be, there'll be a guided meditation, Q&A, a lot of personal attention, rich with information, essential oils that will enhance that heart expansion and dealing with the issues that keep you from being heart connected. Although that's not a prerequisite, that information will be shared. And we're going to have a private Facebook group so that everyone can connect in there, since these will be teleclasses, not live classes. So any support for expanding that information, I'm grateful for.
So do you want to go ahead and put that in the chat room, maybe the link to how to register or information on it that we can?
Sure, thank you.
The thing that came up for me, and you correct me, hi Gary, was, again, I always go, how do you talk to the business world? Is somebody that travels a lot. I know that I was traveling a lot and it was actually affecting my animals, and it affects kids too, but at the time it was affecting my animals, and I worked with the intuitive that gave me tools to be able to have my busy life traveling and still connect. Is this kind of the same thing?
Yes.
So that if you travel a lot and there's individuals, whether it be children or animals, that there's some separation happening, I can share with you tools to where no matter where you're at in the world, you're connected.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, that you picked up on that correctly. The other thing is that in terms of, since I'm learning a new skill tonight, and that's being very conscious of my audience, thank you so much. The other aspect of this, helping business owners, entrepreneurs, especially if they are in need of relating to people, who we're being in that relationship with self is how we connect with other people. And if people are finding that they're having a real challenge connecting with other people or connecting with their people, if they have a business that has multiple employees and they're really struggling with that, this is a wonderful course that will help them to identify what their core issues are and move beyond them and really enhance their relationships, both personally and in business.
Perfect. Penny, did you have anything to add?
In terms, I would like to see where I can share that, because I don't know which chat we're in there. But I do like that the business twist that you're giving to that, really helping for the travel aspect. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. It's even as simple. What's interesting is it's even as simple as I've had clients that have children that won't go to sleep in their own room. Mm-hmm. And when you teach them how to energetically show that child.
Do you see this one, Eileen?
From the heart, it actually helps them to be able to sleep in their own room because they recognize that they're connected to you.
Well,
It's pretty amazing.
and actually, back to Shannon's point about, in this audience about business, it's not just being away from your families in business. I work with a lot of multi-location offices where the CEO can't be at multiple locations. And there is an energetic disconnect between those satellite offices.
Right.
And so if you can talk about it like that as well, I think that's huge. Also, having worked early on in my career, I worked for JP Morgan, and I was sent out to the Zurich office, and I lived out in Zurich, Switzerland for many years. And the satellite offices, there's a different energy. And so if there was work that could be done to help the parent company better assimilate and connect with those satellite offices, that would be huge for so many companies, because there is a disconnect.
Thank you so much, Penny. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Perfect. And Karen's got a little one joining her. Hi.
I said hi. He's normally
doesn't like to sleep or likes to sleep by themselves.
He actually
Hello.
he does very well, but I think that I think he just hears mommy. So he's like, "What's going on? What am I missing?"
Well, that's okay.
That's all right.
That's okay.
That's all right. Extra cuddles are okay with me.
Loves to watch himself on the video, so he'll come in and he just gets a kick out of this stuff. So we're in our last 4 minutes, and I just wanted to put on your calendar 2 weeks from now is Monday. If you did register, there was an option at the very end to say subscribe to all of the webinars. If you didn't do that, then you're going to need to register again. But if you did do that, you'll get an announcement 3 days ahead of time to remind you. So it's 2 weeks from now. You can always feel free to send in goals or challenges or anything that you want to cover ahead of time. But I do invite you to go ahead and share. Can you go to, okay, Eileen, the hearthealer.com/events. And click on the 12/7, the information, which is December 7th, the information on the teleclass is there. So Eileen, let me put this in the other chat room.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
So it's eileenthehearthealer.com/events. Go to the date 12/7 information about the teleclass there. Then there's there. So I'm just going to do a quick plug on my needs. We have the 8th Business Acceleration Summit coming up on January 19th, 20th, and 21st. We actually added you are able to connect even deeper with a lot of the mentors that are there. Really excited. We've upgraded the hotel. We actually have one of the nicest hotels in our county at the Hilton Rialto. And if you're in your business and you want to access individuals like Penny that has been in Forbes and Inc. and really at a place of how do I serve and how do I help and how do I support, and really immerse yourself in developing your elevator pitch, working on your website, whatever it is that you need in your business. And we do always have that health side, that life balance side, even though, as you heard me tonight, a lot focused on the business because that's the majority of the audience. I'm passionate about how do you create that balance in your world. I had a big knee, ended up getting really sick and losing everything from not walking my talk of creating that balance with your family and your health and all that, your spirituality. So we always have a wide variety of individuals that come and play. Hi, Melissa. And Melissa Tank was our Humanitarian of the Year award winner at this year's event. She has weareone.org. Talk about an amazing humanitarian. She goes to Africa. She feeds children that are starving. She has worked in Detroit to change laws for the less fortunate with low-income housing. This woman is out all over the world as a global citizen, really making an impact on those that are less fortunate. And when you meet her, she just, the minute she walked in the room, it was like, wow, her heart is so huge, but weareone.org. She's definitely looking for some support and connection. We also have Robert Greene that joined us today. And Robert Greene is a grant writing funding expert. I think this year alone, he's in a short period of time has accessed hundreds of thousands of dollars for just one local organization. So doing some good stuff. So this is what happens when we come and play together. So we get to share resources. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, it's facebook.com/Business Acceleration Summit. Feel free to go in there and share who you are and what you're doing and connect with the community there. You can read more about our event. And I think that is it. I'm going to just do one closing plug. If you want to hear Penny, who's a productivity expert who will be sharing her time blocking for sales and marketing strategies this Wednesday, 2 days, from 1 to 2 o'clock. She's actually, this is a 2-part series. We're doing a training, the first part, and then the following Wednesday is an open office, which is a Q&A. So this is for our members, but I'm opening it up for those of you that are on the Mastermind Monday. If you want to go ahead and send me an email to info@shannongronich.com. I'll send you the link and be able to plug in. Any questions, final remarks?
Thank you.
Before we...
I really appreciate all the wisdom tonight. Thank you.
Perfect.
Agreed. It looks like
Sharon,
Shannon's, I was going to say thank you also. I really appreciate, staying in contact. And Penny and Eileen, thank you so much for all of your resources. I really do appreciate that. If you check out my website, you'll see very quickly why this is important to me. And so I do appreciate your support.
You're welcome.
And Penny.
Yeah, thank you so much for holding this space. This is, my first time on this program. I'll definitely be joining more often. I think this is a wonderful resource for people to share challenges. As you said, the vulnerability aspect of putting yourself out there, whatever it is, sharing your stories, I think is phenomenal, and being able to support one another. So thank you for holding this space for us.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. So please go to the Facebook page. I can easily share if you guys want to put your events or anything that you have going on that we talk to them beyond there. So see you guys in 2 weeks, and thank you so much. Thank you, Penny, for joining in as a mentor and giving energy. I'm really appreciative.
My pleasure.
Thanks,
Bye
ladies.
for now.
Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Debbie Lynn. Bye, Rain.